What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. This is just gonna be like a little intro before the intro because this video came out back in November, so I just wanted to give an update about what the video is. Basically, my dad had his first anniversary with P.U.L.S.E, and it's just gonna be like a little recap. It's gonna be almost an hour-long video, but I hope y'all enjoy it. And stay tuned for more videos coming out every Sunday, and yeah. But without further ado, let's roll it. And before we actually get to the video, this is just a word from the owner, P.U.L.S.E, my dad. So yeah, here it goes.
This is Micah Davenport. Organization's name is P.U.L.S.E, which stands for Players Undergoing Life-Saving Education. This program was put together November 2024. And the reason why it was in the cardiac arrest at a basketball tournament. And while I was down, heart had stopped, and I'm laying on the ground. It was players, and it was coaches and other, parents that was around. But everybody like froze because they really didn't, know what to do or how to handle the situation that was in place at the time. So they wind up getting in contact with one of the other parents, and that person was able to come and actually administer CPR until the ambulance or the EMTs was able to get to me and use the defibrillator to help fully bring me back. While fighting for my life to come back out of the coma and all, and just to be, living, I, once I got back to life and actually started to realize what happened and start researching what happened, I'm seeing this is a more common thing amongst athletes. So at this point now I have to, mentally I decided to put together this program to help parents and other, player spectators that's around to be able to administer the CPR and no one freeze up or, just not knowing what to do. They say that the first 4 minutes of a cardiac arrest is the most important, and that's the time frame you want to get the person back. Any more than the 4 minutes, it starts deteriorating the brain of that person that's unconscious. So this is why we're putting it together for the CPR side of things. Now, for the athlete side, it's going to be a lot of screenings and tests that we were going to be offering to players, no matter what sport you're playing, so you can actually know, what's going on inside your body. That's one thing that we really can't pay attention to, and we won't know, like a lot of times we don't know until it's too late. So we offering heart screenings where, we'll be able to get a full image picture of the heart and be able to break down all your valves and all to make sure everything's clear and everything's moving the way it's supposed to. So these are the two, programs that we will be doing underneath of P.U.L.S.E. And we're working towards making sure that the game stays safe and people stay alive. If you want to donate anything, or if you want to just follow the cause, you can reach us at the P.U.L.S.E Foundation, and this is on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, as well as Pulsemental.health.blog, and that's our blog that we're going to be talking through, just to help anyone that any previous people that have dealt with a cardiac arrest, if it's sports or if it's outside of sports. Anyone come, and then it's just a support group that we're all, we'll be there, and, just to be able to get our feelings out and vent. No one knows how it feels outside the people that actually been through it. So it's somewhere that we could just go to and talk and have the friendly conversation, but, could be our honest and true selves. Thank you.
What's up, Silon'friends? We're here with another video. I hope everybody's doing all right. I hope everybody's being blessed. Today we got a different video. We got Glacier, and we are here for the 1-year anniversary birth of P.U.L.S.E. Players undergoing life-saving education. That's a brand that my dad had made because of an incident that he had last year, and basically we just spreading awareness about it. We out here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, my hometown, and yeah, we're just gonna get some interactions with Glacier, educate people. We got my coloring books out here. We got a lot of business people, business minded, and yeah, so it's gonna be a little bit of a different video. Y'all stay tuned, and yeah, we will be back once we get everything set up.
Welcome to the first awards and fundraiser gala. This is literally like the soft launch of the program that my brother started. As most of us know, he had his was it heart arrhythmia last year. Yeah. I call it the wrong thing because I know what happened. I don't know what the name for it is. I think there's a lot of understanding we're going to get tonight from that. He took that event and turned it into something that is very positive, that's going to be exposed to everyone tonight, so hopefully you all get a chance to enjoy that.
How you guys doing? Enjoying yourself? Yeah. You show the seriousness of that video. I don't come to Harrisburg much, not anymore. Since I moved away. But when the family calls, and I said family, I'm the oldest, shortest brother. But no, blood couldn't make us any closer. I know Michael for a long time, and when I got that call approximately a year ago, and I didn't believe it. It took like 3 text messages, a couple phone calls. The moms had to call me and tell me Rashad hit me up. I couldn't believe it. And I know when I got the call and I went to the hospital and I saw him there, I told him I was family, and they let me in. He didn't know I was there. But I remember I prayed and I said, I know he wasn't done, because we have a lot of stuff to do. And I know it wasn't time for him to be done. And we're seeing a culmination of that today, right? I could be up here, I could talk for a long time about them and their family, but it's time to talk, the man of the hour to talk. I want y'all to give it up and we'll show some love to my brother. I love this man here, Micah Davenport.
There it is. There it is. Yeah.
Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody for coming out. This is the soft launch for P.U.L.S.E. Wanted it to be around people that really knew who I was and what actually happened. Just to feel that, first and foremost, I'm okay. So everybody know that I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm about to go up and down the court or do anything that route, but I'm cool. To survive and move around, even drive. For y'all that don't think I'm supposed to be driving. Here we go. But the reason it's a sports gala, and that, first Dundalk, my national championship shirt on, and all.
Yeah.
The video that we watched where I was still playing, that was a month or 2 before the incident happened. So at that time it could have happened, and all. And just to see, I'm playing, I'm performing, I'm, looking right on the court as far as like the moves and everything. And inside, my heart wasn't, and that's one thing we don't think about building. We go to the weight room, we go to the treadmill, we go to the park, we go everywhere else. But, where we need to go to make sure we're building our insides up. And this right here, after, a trying time frame for everybody around me when I couldn't remember nothing, or, I was in the mood when I'm being fussy and all the other stuff, out here, I'm also researching what happened. And you start seeing this more and more cases, not just me, not just Bronny or the ones that they publicize, but it's a lot. You had, I remember when I was 13, the kid had passed from the same exact thing that I had. And this is saying this could have happened at any time, but it was able to happen at the age of 44. On the other side, I saw them. And just knowing when you came back, like I had a death date for it. I had one. And now I'm back again. So I have a birthday coming up, everybody. November 12th is my new birthday. Just so y'all know, but I had able to start over again, but it's more so just to, make sure that the awareness is out here. And, a lot of people in here know about it, play AAU. And that's the highest rate of death from heart attacks because they don't have no machines or anything to take care of you. You don't see medics you barely see a trainer, and they definitely not sitting there with the AED machines and everything that's needed. So that's why, putting P.U.L.S.E, we're gonna get AED machines. Every team that goes out gonna have it. Everybody gonna be certified with, CPR and all to make sure that this don't happen to none of the kids. None of the coaches, none of the parents. If we can take care of whoever, that's what we're going to be doing. And I'm saying that to say, like, further on, I signed up for the 4-minute crew in Dauphin County. So I get an alert on the AED that somebody within 4 minutes is having a heart attack. And I go out to respond and catch them before the medics are able to come through. So, it's just a mission that I see this is where I'm supposed to be going. I did everything I did in basketball. We did coaching. We got national titles. We on, I can't say it now, but we got a lot of stuff coming up. So, oh yeah, it's a disclosure right now. I can't say too much. There's a lot of cameras in me, so I gotta be careful. But but this is just a lot of stuff going on. But this is dear to my heart right now, and this is a lot of folks going to be going this route. The person I'm about to present right now went back a while, kept seeing this brother everywhere, but we was never at the same time, or never there for the same reason, but we was always in the same space. He's coaching, I'm coaching. He's talking to, this city official, I'm talking to another one. And then one said, y'all might as well get together and, start working together since y'all always doing this stuff together. Y'all might as well just start working with each other. And, to us, we never thought about it, but it made sense once we heard it. So, other than that, I'm going to, introduce Coach Anthony Burnett, a.k.a. Coach Duke.
I'm thanking everybody who's here tonight. You could have been somewhere else. And I'm glad y'all came out to support him, just as well as all of us. We work together, we can get it done. Just thank God for all of you. And I just thank God to be alive and being able to give back and without any regrets.
Amen.
Charles Finley, everybody calls me Coach Chuck. Chuck. The person that I want to introduce right now is a gentleman that I met through my cousin, the late great Carl Singleton. The gentleman I'm going to speak about right now is Tariq Castile. Everybody might know him as Tart. Tariq Castile continues to shape a future where everyone, regardless of their path, has the opportunity to build, grow, and belong. He truly embodies the spirit of those honored today as people united, leading and serving equitably. A true P.U.L.S.E champion in transformation and community empowerment. Please join me in welcoming and honoring Tariq Castile.
But I don't really like to do stuff like this, but I do respect what you guys do in the community. I definitely didn't know a lot of what you was doing, but I knew you for a long time since you was young. I'm a little older than you, and I remember playing basketball with you when I was in college. You was in high school, but I knew you was always a good man and a good person in the community. I didn't know you went through it like that. I did hear a little bit, but I just wasn't sure. But like I said, I respect what you do, but a lot of things I do, I don't like to be recognized for. But people that helped me when I was young, who I look looked up to was Dez and Kyle Brunson. I went through the Eugenia program when I was a kid, you know what I mean? And, I grew up in the projects, South Harrisburg. I ain't had much, you know what I mean? I had a lot of trials and tribulations in my life, you know what I mean? And from the time I grew up, went away to college as well. I got myself in trouble, came back, and had a plan, and I executed my plan.
This award here is for Coach Copper Brunson. This, you know, again, a lot of things that was taught. You hear it young, you don't pay no attention to it until life brings it back full circle to you. And then you're able to say, oh, okay, yeah, I heard this over here. Or I remember him saying this, now I see it with my own eyes. That's one thing that we was able to have, you know, growing up, if, you know, we were up anywhere. Because basketball back in the day only went through one spot, like, that was up Reservoir. You know, you go into the Y, but summertime it was at Reservoir. Everybody's at the park. You know, you working out, you training, and then you got a game, and then you have another game. Then you may work out again, but, you know, then you up there by yourself with, you know, the whole community up there playing. That's how the park was. And, you know, until you got them bunch of boosts from that, you wasn't considered a player. And, you know, sometimes that would translate into, you know, making the school team. But, you know, the mindset, the leadership, and all that is brought from here. So Coach Collab wanted to, you know, present you with this award here. It's the Heart of a Trailblazer Activist Award. It's here. You know, after it happened, getting phone calls, getting Tai Chi moves that I'm supposed to be working on a daily basis and all to build up my heart circulation and all, and this is where it comes from. So, you know, we're gonna do some work down the line, but seafood kava right here now is what, you know, we're gonna be working with to actually make sure that we all start building our inside up.
To see how things now are dovetailing. I also received recently my seafood status in the Blue Dragon Qigong system. What is that about? This is about learning how we can heal ourselves. Not to get to the point where you have to be in recovery, but even when you get to recovery, that we learn how to balance heart, lung, liver, spleen, kidney. All of us have those issues. Every last one of us. And I talked to the Grand Master about what was happening here in Harrisburg. The Grand Master who elevated me says that we're going to put together a special set for the basketball community as well. So I just want to announce that here tonight. But thank you so much for this honor. I don't feel worthy. Just to be in your presence, though, was enough for me. So thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Amir Brunson, for those who don't know me, and I'm here to present the Golden Heart Award. So, by definition, the Golden Heart Award is the highest honor presented by P.U.L.S.E. And if you're as lucky as I am to know this individual personally, or as lucky as those impressionable little girls were, or many other students, then you know of that same magic that she possesses us all too well. And the reasons I just stated are only a few of 1,000 reasons that my sister, Damali Makita Brunson, is the cookie cutter perfect recipient for this award.
Anyone who knows me will confirm that there are very few times that I'm at a loss for words. But this is, I had no idea that this was coming. As my dad said, it's just embedded in our DNA that you just do. It's your civic duty to just do. You don't seek validation or recognition. You You just do because that's what, if you can, that's what you're supposed to do. It's literally our job to make sure that the generation that comes, actually the ones that are here with you and the ones yet to come, do far better than you. But the strength that you have in what you've shown, I just want you to know how much I admire that and I acknowledge it, and we appreciate you so much and love you, and you absolutely deserve all of your flowers because you have raised exceptional men. Yes, indeed.
Ninth grade when I met Coach Dad. Coach Norwood had the idea that I was ready to play JV as a freshman. He was fully wrong. I was nowhere near close. I probably wasn't supposed to be on the ninth grade team either. Like, I just was not that player at that time. But the words and encouragement that Coach Dash continued to give me over the course of the season, I still didn't get that much better, but you know, he talked into my head and let me know, like, you know, this is something that you can do if you decide to, you know, but again, decide to. Now, you know, fast forward, driven from within, and coming from in here. You know, I had to decide that I wanted to be nice before I could even be nice. That's the same thing with the kids that's in here. No one can make y'all nice but y'all. It don't matter what type of training we put you in, if we get you in the gym 100 hours every week. If you don't want to be nice, you're not going to be nice. We're presenting Coach Daz Vegas with the heart of a trailblazer and the coaching award. Because, you know, and the true legend. It's on the shirt.
But Micah, back to you, man. I'm here because of you. I mean, even if you didn't give me no award, I'm here for you, man. You almost wasn't here for us. So I'm glad you're here to give me this. Glad your son is here to witness it. You used to bring your son, your two sons, and your daughter, Reservoir Park. Reservoir Park. He pretty good now, but he used to be corny then. The daughter was better than him. No. But it's good, Dad. That's good. You turned out to be great, man. You turned out to be good. Seriously. But Micah did bring them. How old were they at the time?
He was 9, so it goes down from that. So what? 7 and 5, 4, 7?
Yep. Reservoir Park, don't you forget that. It was up there, 90-degree heat. God, 90-degree heat. He was there. I appreciate you, man.
Film Festival.
Yeah, Film Festival. Enjoying yourself. Got your phone on 3%. You know, and you,
It died.
yeah, it died in the middle of the conversation, and the phone died, and you don't believe what you're hearing. No, so you are scrambling around to try to find a charger, but you're at a film festival, so you're outside. No one has a charger, so you have to run to the car to try to figure out, was this what I heard was really true? Next day, she's in Harrisburg, not by plane, but by car. Directly to the hospital, cussed every staff out in there that tried to you know, throughout the whole thing. And uprooted herself here for 3 months. On my nerves. But she did it, you know, she did it, and in her mind, she, you know, I gotta take care of him. I joke a lot. I got a little dark humor in me from this situation. So, you know, I say, you know, I died. My cousin, again, in the front was there. Coach Chuck was there, Coach Frank, you know, the Molly was actually like ones that was like there during that time. How I came up. Sorry I didn't meet you then, Abdul, but you know, he was here as well. But during that time frame, my mom thought I was going to be retarded. And she was like, well, he can't do anything for himself. So I'm gonna have to be his maid and all this other stuff and change the diapers. So she was physically getting ready to have to take over that role. When I first came out of the coma, I always say my mental and my physical was not the same. The pictures that you're seeing, I was not there. I don't remember none of them, none of that. My conscious mind wasn't together with my body at this time. So she said I would say off the wall stuff, and you know, she just begged the doctor to get brain scans the whole time I was in there. Forget the heart, I need to know what's going on with his mind, so I know that he was, you know, past this. And you know, but the support, she just was around, she was there. You know, I'm up in the middle of the night because I can't sleep, you know. Anybody been in the hospital for a while know that schedule when you come home is different. You know, you up every 3-4 hours, and guess who else is up every 3-4 hours? She, you know, she is, and she, you know, trying to hold a conversation, and you know, but mentally helped me get through. You know, the hardest road in this was the mental. Physically, as y'all can see, I'm cool. You know, but mentally, you know, it's just something I'm fighting through. And, you know, again, Shad, my mom, Chuck, Frank, Molly, like all y'all, you know, I want to thank y'all because, as y'all say, I wasn't the easiest person to talk to during the time because of the fact, you know, I don't know what I'm talking about. You know, I'm coming back with memory loss, and I just, you know, just continue just going on and on about the same thing that we might have solved an hour ago, and I don't know anything about it, and I'm going back over it again. And then I get the attitude with y'all because y'all like, yo, what's wrong with y'all? Like, it's my mindset. So, but I want to thank y'all for you know, just being around. And then, like I said, you know, memory loss is one thing that they said that would happen, short-term memory. So you can tell me something, and you know, about a minute too late, you're gonna tell me the same thing if I don't get up and do it right then and make it part of, you know, a long-term memory. If it's not there, I'm not gonna remember it. And even if I, you know, go 1, 2, we just talked about it, we didn't. I would swear up and down, we never talked about it, and you know, we go on from there. But you know, again, you know, she stuck through. Even when it came to planning this, you know, she argued, fussed, and everything, and I continued to do what I wanted to do because I just, you know, the stubbornness in me is not going to allow me to just fully let somebody control whatever's going on. And my coaches, you know, they know as well. Like that's one of the things that, you know, it's just hard for me to release. But with that is the reason why, you know, I'm here doing a lot of stuff that I'm doing. I'm the stubborn person. I'm not vocal. I'm not going to do all the yelling and screaming, but I'm not running. I'm going to be right there. And that's what, you know, this whole thing was, you know, putting this together. I got told that I don't need to have this right now. You know, I done talked to a couple people, and they told me, well, you need to work underneath me instead of doing it on your own, you know, with P.U.L.S.E. And I'm sitting there like, why would I do that? So, again, now I'm going through this, you know, as people turning me away or, you know, telling me I shouldn't be doing this actual organization now. Doing that again. So, you know, that's that part there, but, you know, I'm still, you know, grateful for everyone that showed up tonight. You know, I was going to go, you know, one of the things, you know, just, being on wire, work third shift, heavy. So it wasn't conversation, it was movies. And, you know, that was things that we would just sit up, because, you know, you have to be up all night, or the kids are going to take off. And we were at a facility, at our facility where that's what they're looking to do. So they're peeking out in the hallway just to see, you know, if you fell asleep. If you did, they was running. And you know, simple as that. And, you know, so we was up, we watching movies now. They said, staff is never sleepless at the third, but we're up laughing. And it was a thing that we used to always say with the Warriors when science came up and said, can you count? Like, you know, I was going to start out that way, but I'm not going into that. But just, you you know, this whole thing right now, I really appreciate everybody for coming out. Mom, it's your turn to do what you want to do. Hopefully you can hold it together. You're not shy. You gotta come help her. Because,
well, as you see, he has turned me into a straight punk. All I do is cry. I've never been a crybaby, but I've become a crybaby. And it's a joy. This time last year, this was not the way I came up here. It was not the call that I wanted. I was at a film festival. I had just talked to him. We were fine until I would call him when we got back to the house. They called me. My phone had gone up to 3%. Luckily, I'm a shopper. And it just happened to be a woman there at a vendor that was selling some things that I wanted. I went to go use my phone, my Apple, and my phone wouldn't go. So I told her, I said, if you want to sell, y'all need to find me a charger. So they did that, and while my phone was charging, I got the phone call that said, Mom, it's Vaughn. I said, well, tell him I'll catch him when I get to the house. I said, my phone is dead. He probably lost his phone or his battery went dead. I said, I'll call him when I get there. They said, no. He said he's in trouble. My thoughts, he's playing ball. How much trouble can he get into? Next thing I heard was the EMT telling them clear. They were giving him AD. Imagine being in Atlanta, which is where I'm at, and hear that on the phone that they're giving my child CPR. What happened? He's fine. I just talked to him. I couldn't get heads or tails out of anything. That is not a call that you want. I worked for Harrisburg City Police Department, and I worked in the homicide for 20 years. I did death notifications. That's what I did for 20 years, death notifications. Now to have that call come to me over the phone, and I'm 13 hours away. And I don't know who's there with him. I don't know what's going on. So finally, they got some information out of me. I got some information out of them and trying to figure out where they're taking my child to. So they said I did. I kind of went a little off. I went a little off, and my reason for being off was where they took him to, I didn't have HIPAA, which means I couldn't get no information. Now, you give me I give you information about my child, but you can't tell me where my child is. They told me that somebody had called on my behalf. I don't care who that was that called her, it wasn't me. Find my child, find out where he is. I didn't care who was back there with him. I said, tell everybody who was back there, I'm on the phone. Put me on the phone so I can find out what's wrong with my child. At the same time, I'm packing. Now, y'all, I don't know, those that know me know I come home in the cold. It's cold up here. We are 80 degrees at home. I don't even own a winter coat. So it's cold up here. So for me, and I had a boot on. So now I gotta come here in a boot, in the cold, because he wants to act the fool. I didn't know what I was coming into. When I finally found him, I told them then I was getting on the road. I didn't care what time I got into Pennsylvania, I was going straight to the hospital. When I walked in that hospital, that's what I saw. They asked me, did he have a living, not living well, if he was a donor. That's the question I got asked when I walked in that door. Is he a donor? That is not something I don't breathe death over my children. I breathe life over them. Once I finally gathered myself and looked at him, I said, this is not over. I said, this is not over. I said, this is not what we do. I know he didn't hear me, and I know he heard me. And for 3 days, I sat here and spoke life over my child. I played music in his ears. I prayed over him. I prayed for everybody that came in there because I know how attached you all are to him. I prayed for you all while I prayed for my child. I knew he was going to be all right, but I wanted to make sure that all of you were all right. Each one that I talked to, the first thing I asked you, don't worry about me. How are you? How are you handling this? That's your peer. And for him to go down, and you all know he's like a health nut. He does everything he's supposed to do, and even athletic. For him to go down, it could be anybody. So I say that to say, if it had not been for Angel, if it had not been for her, he was in the right place at the right time with the right person. She recognized it for what it was, cardiac arrest. He died. He always said, I had an instant, I passed out. No, Negro, you died. You were dead. He always said, I passed out. You did not pass out, you died. You died. You died. And when they gave the percentage to me of how he was going to be coming back, they didn't know what his brain activity was going to be. They didn't know if he was going to wake up. They didn't know if he was going to walk, if they had to have occupational therapy. He had to have physical therapy, speech therapy. I was prepared to take care of him as long as he is. I said, I got to wheel him in a wheelchair. I got to change the diapers. My back hurts. Boy. And I'm sitting there thinking all this stuff I'm going to have to do, and I think he's going to be slow. I thought he was going to be slow. I figured, I kept looking at him, I said, he has to wake up, and I have to see what's in there. But it happened, they kept telling me about brain damage. Because the longer that you're dead, the more your brain, no oxygen, right,
Yeah.
no oxygen in your brain, so there's more damage. And so they didn't know how much damage it was. And I'm looking at him, and he didn't look like he had no damage, he looked like he had damage. And then when he woke up and different things he was doing, I really thought that he had damage. But God is amazing. When I turn around and say, the God that I serve,
Yes.
awesome.
Yes.
I watched that. If I never ever believed before, I believe now. So tears, this was a whole different ballgame this time last year. I thank all of you, and especially the ones that have been there. A lot of you have been there when he was a kid, and are still there today. Destry, I appreciate you. You've been there from day one. I always look for you when I come in town. When I see you there, I'm always looking to see where's Destry. I know you somewhere gonna be in the gym where he's in the gym. So I come in, a lot of times I come in, I go in the gym and just kind of hang out in and see what the kids are doing. Because somebody did it to him. Somebody watched over him. He's been playing ball since he was 6 years old. You're right, he wasn't good at all. He was over there at, what is that? What is it over on 15th and Her? He was playing ball over there. Shamrock. Awful. He was awful. Awful. But he thought he was good. He thought it was good. Shamrock. And I sent him, and he had so much mouth on him, I sent him down there to Sunshine to go play with the big boys. They pushed him around, they scratched him up, knocked him down, and then when he came home, he had a whole different vision of the old folks on there playing ball. So, but it's been a long career. It's been a long career. Like I said, if Angel had not been there, and she actually physically resuscitated him until EMTs got there, this should not have happened. A facility that big should have had AEDs there. They should have EMTs outside. That's the goal now, is to make sure that happens. If they have AEDs, all of you are there in their coaching, you have your own personal AEDs on you, so you can recognize that. We're hoping that they have EMTs outside. They have them at football games. Why can't they have them at these AAU teams, these AAU games? You guys are running tournaments all day long for a whole weekend. Why isn't there somebody out there? We all know that since this has happened, we've lost about 4 people now. Community. Carl's gone. Different ones have gone down. They've all been for cardiac. And he's questioned, why is he still here? Don't question that. Don't question that. And I tell him, don't question that. He never saw those videos. It's time. Because you all need to see that whatever it was that you thought you heard or whatever out there, this is what happened for real. He died. And it took him 4 days to bring him back. What they did, they put him on ice. They took his body down to, they put him on, what was that, 90 degrees? Wherever it was like, it was real low, because he was ice cold, like literally ice cold. And they had to bring his temperature back up gradually to bring him back. First thing his brother asked him, did you see the other side? Did you see the light? That was the first thing he asked, and I said the same thing with them, for real? And he turned, he said, yeah. But then at that point, we kind of looked. It was like, what'd you see? What happened? But he had a journey with his grandmother. He had a journey with his grandmother and his stepfather. So, do I believe he saw it? I do. The reason why the day that he came back was the date of his grandmother's death. November the 12th, that was the date of his grandmother's death. He's the first grandchild, and he's the favorite grandchild. So do I believe he saw her? Do I believe she sent him back here? I do. And I'm totally appreciative to this. I ask that from moving forward, this is like it's a soft launch. Just kind of let you know what we're doing. I ask that you all literally just stand by him. Stand by him and support him. This is for the community. It's not about him anymore. It's about the community. It's about these kids. He was born from Murmur, but every year we had him tested because he wanted to play ball. Never detected it. My biggest fear was him dying on that court. Always been. Because every year they say, oh, his heart is fine. There's nothing the matter with him. We don't detect the murmur anymore. We don't see anything. He can still play ball. He played ball. You all know he played ball the whole way through and never had that problem. To just fall down in the middle of, after a game, just to fall. So now we see, they still don't know why, but now we see it can happen to anybody. It can happen to me. It can happen to anybody. And we as black people, we need to take care. We need to actually pay attention to our bodies and get our bodies checked. Even if you don't think you have anything to matter, check. I go every 6 months, I get a blood draw. I ask you guys for your support. I want to thank Angel. I really want to thank her. Because like I said, she is our angel. Her name is fitting.
And with that being said, everybody that received the award tonight, the award will be named after you from here on out. So this will be the Collab Award, and you will pick who you want to get that award. And this goes for everybody in this room that received the award tonight. So I want to thank y'all for being a big part of everything that I do, and this is my way of giving back that way.
Back here because y'all trying to make me cry. In totality, like we get to this night, and now you kind of realize that everybody plays these roles in community and in life, and then like upbringing and like having their stories inspire somebody else. And I think it's important to make sure that whatever we do, we understand that what we're doing is going to touch somebody else's life. It's going to inspire somebody else's life. It's going to motivate them in some kind of way. Our network of people, I didn't even know all of you were connected the way that you are. So knowing that, like, you played for Des and Pablo started this 40 years ago, and for 40 years, hundreds of kids have gone through these programs. Thousands of kids have gone through these programs, and it's never just basketball, which is something that he and I talk about all the time. Basketball stops at an age point. it's life skills. It's learning what teamwork is. It's learning what accountability is. It's learning how to humble yourself and become a better player. It's getting beat up on the basketball court to learn that you're not as big and bad as you think you are. And that determination, that determination, it helps you grow in different ways. But like inspiring people, you never think that your sister feels the way that she pours out. He will probably never know in person the way. Like he sent me a text message like 3 months ago, and I read it and I was like, called my mom, I was like, yeah, right? And it was just him saying like, you know, I really respect, you know, you would appreciate you, which is why I call you for advice on certain things because your opinion matters that much. And I was like, I've known this man for 44 years. He never said that to me before. He must really be on his way. Like he's trying to like do that touched by an angel thing. So we have a very dark humor in our family. There's no nobody's safe. But it's, I see now, and I say this often, like what he's doing, you'll see the fundraisers, you'll see the shirts, the blankets, like the gifts and things like that. I said, we'll see. You want me to talk? Be quiet. You'll see the fundraisers coming out. And when you see them, if you can support. If you can't, support can be sharing. It can be sharing a link, it can be liking the post, it can be a comment. It plays a difference because the exposure is where that comes in. And I mean, when you talk sharing and exposing and like helping and hyping things up, this guy, I found out who Travis was. Like, wait, I was like, who is Travis? I was like, oh, this friend request. Like, he's supposed to be attacking on everything. It's one of the coaches that Chuck, when he fell down, Chuck stood up. And we were worried about him. Chuck was like, I got whatever y'all need to have taken care of. I'll take care of whatever I can. Chuck kept running the program. Kids missed the games. Like, everything kept going. Chuck was holding meetings. Chuck was making phone calls. I was gonna get the Frank too. So it's like I then found out from my mom like the depths of where Chuck was at, and I was like, so who all is involved in this? And I find out there's like a list of coaches, and my mom's like, well, there's Frank. And they came over and they hung jerseys in Bond's room so that when he like wakes up, he can see them and kind of has some kind of recognition of what's going on. I thought the nurses. You thought a whole lot of things when you woke up. But it's like they showed up in ways that, as his younger brother, I would have. So the fact that they were coming out or checking in on mom on a daily basis, it's like these dudes showed up in ways that meant everything. So it's moving forward. I challenge the room to embrace brotherhoods, embrace sisterhoods, embrace community. Find ways that you can work together and support each other. And again, it's not always financial. Sometimes it's just saying something encouraging. Sometimes it's like, I see you, like keep at it. When you're in it, that means a lot when somebody just sees you. So if you can push that, and you can do something together, you can partner on something. You can say, you got this going on, let me push some energy towards you, let me push some of that sharing and that attention towards you as well. That means everything. So I want to challenge everyone to do more of that. I don't know your story, but from what I know right now, share it. Because that is people like me, I want to know how. And that how is going to save somebody's life. Because there's not enough of the hows that we learn in our community. We know the what, but we never know the how they got there. And it allows us to look at you when we don't know with an opinion that isn't accurate. And we can say, oh, he's like this, but you don't know that person. As a journalist, I like knowing people. And I I think that that's really important, and I want to encourage you to do that. You don't have to, but I want to let you know, again, I just like to say what I feel, and maybe you go somewhere, I want to encourage you to do that. But, you know, I'll push everybody. Hey, it's really killing. So, on that, thank everybody for coming out. That's my challenge. That's my. You said give a mission. Here you go. So I want to encourage people to do the community thing. So thank y'all for being here tonight. Again, last year I wasn't coming to Harrisburg. My mom said she was coming. I was like, here's some gas money. Like, let me know when you get here. And it wasn't because I didn't want to be here. It's because I couldn't see that. And the selfish side of me said, how dare you make me have to live life without you, and at some point lose my mom and not have you there. This selfish side of me. It wasn't about him. You can't leave me like this. And we've never had a relationship that was close like that. But I felt that immediately. I was like, no, I don't want to see it. I told my mom, don't you FaceTime me. Don't you send me no pictures. Don't call me at 3 o'clock in the morning, make my phone ring, because every time you did, I thought it was over. And I couldn't deal with that. So it was like, text me first, then call me. Text me, say you're cool, then call me. And that's how I had to process. So, like being here now, he jokes with this November 12th thing. It ain't happening. Because again, it's that reminder. It's that reminder. Like, I got the phone call in the car when he woke up on the highway. Swerve, ball for 8 minutes. I had no words. My mom was like, I'll call you back. I just want you to know he was okay. I'm in the car rocking, crying, listening to Zacardi Cortez. Didn't help. It was that moment. It was like, okay, he's alive. And for 4 days, I didn't know if he was going to be alive. And that was a pain waking up every day I couldn't get over it. So when I told her, like, go to Harrisburg, do what you need to do, I know I can't keep you here, I know I can't stop you from going. You're going tomorrow morning. And when you figure this out and everything is going okay, then we'll figure out when I get there. But seeing that, that was my first time seeing it. And it was like, no, I wasn't accepting it. I didn't want to see it, I didn't want to accept it. So it's a blessing to be here now, in this way, because it was a very different situation last year. So thank y'all for supporting, thank y'all for coming out, thank y'all for believing in him and motivating him and pushing him. We're gonna keep trying to do the same. Mom, Dad said he was trying to play basketball in a tournament like about a month ago.
Damn snitch.